watching The 9.
We know that managing money can be difficult at any time, but during a strike, it can be really tough when you are sacrificing your paychecks. Some things you can do to help keep your finances afloat, and this is advice that all of us can use. Brian Nemes from Nemes Rush Family Wealth Management is here to help. Welcome, Brian.
Well, thank you for having me today.
So when your paycheck has suddenly been cut down, or let's just say whatever the life circumstance is, and you really need to evaluate your finances, what is the first step?
I think the first step is to revisit your financial plan if you have one. If you don't have a financial plan, I think you need to either work to prepare one yourself or work with an advisor that can help you prepare one. That plan is going to be your guidepost to tell you what risks you have within your financial picture, be it retirement, be it short-term, intermediate-term goals, and then from there, what steps you need to take to put yourself on a good path.
You do need that roadmap. I mean, it is funny to think about how we're all going to work every day or whatever your situation is, and maybe you're saving, maybe you're investing a little bit, but we really do need a big picture roadmap. What's the end goal, right?
Yep.
So, okay, so financial plan. Are you, the first, after that, you're making some kind of budget, right?
Correct. Yeah. So I think the first step, especially for people that are impacted by the UAW strike, whether it's workers, it's employees of the big three that have been laid off, or people that are just tangentially impacted by it, is to step back and look at their budget and revisit their budget from the standpoint of what is essential, what is discretion. It's never an easy exercise. It is something that, but going through that exercise of actually preparing a budget and revisiting the budget will tell you what you can cut and what is important to you and what's not important to you. Things that we work on with clients a lot is, with regard to larger purchases, are these things that we can delay? Are these things that we should downsize in some manner to help us weather the storm right now? But that exercise itself is what is, I think, the necessary step to understand what needs to be done.
Right, so needs versus wants.
Correct.
Which, you know, a new pair of shoes might be, well, it could be both, I guess. But you do have to kind of ask yourself some tough questions. How much money should you have saved, and then once you reach that goal, then do you start investing appropriately?
Yeah, we typically will recommend at a minimum 3 months worth of cash on hand, cash being the expenses that you spend on a monthly basis. So if you spend $10,000, you should have at least $30,000 in a accessible savings account.
Okay.
Beyond that, though, for those that have a instability in their income stream, we may even recommend more than that, 6 months, maybe even out to a year. And in light of the strike that's going on right now and not knowing how long that will last, I would err on the longer side. You know, once that's accomplished, once you have that savings in place, I do think that you have to keep your longer term goals in focus, and you have to maintain those investments that you were doing. So things like your 401k, making sure that you're doing those, your HSA contribution, making sure that you're doing those. If you're doing Roth or IRA contributions, making sure that you're still doing those to the extent you can.
Okay, so you're always, you want to keep investing when you can, but you also want to make sure you've got 3, 6, maybe 12 months of your expenditures covered in an emergency account in case you need to go to that.
That's correct, yes. And you know, having that cash set aside gives you a lot of optionality. What we find often is people that don't have that cash set aside make rash decisions. So they end up selling investments that, you know, maybe decreased in value this year, and there may have been another solution that was available to them where, you know, they didn't have to sacrifice, you know, future growth in those investments. So having that cash buys them time. It allows them to think through what needs to be done with respect to their financial situation. And allows,
yeah, you don't want to dip into your 401k and get penalized because you don't have enough saved over here.
That's correct. That's
easy access, liquid.
That's correct. Yeah, any time you dip into those long-term savings, those retirement savings, you're merely deferring the consequence down the road.
Yeah. All right, good stuff. One thing we can all do today, just pick up a pen and paper and start making a list of what you're spending money on and maybe what you could cut out. That's an easy beginning step, at least.
Yep, easy first step.
Yeah. Brian, thank you so much. For more, visit Nemes Rush. It's Nemes.
That's correct.
Rush.com.